iZombie Season 2, Episode 12, Physician Heal Thy Selfie. I like this episode for sure. I think it was a really great ending for this episode. There were a ton of just like surprise moments, like Blaine, of course, running into Stacey Boss. And initially, it did seem like he didn't remember him. He kind of just walked away, but it was a funeral for his nephew. So, he comes down to him and he threatens him and stuff. And he's like, you kind of took off with a lot of my stuff, so I'm gonna send some people to come after you. I think he said like every 2 weeks is like $5,000, but he doesn't realize that he took off and he's of course his new competition. So that was a great moment. Liv finds out by the end of the episode that Blaine is back in the business, which has me very excited, especially with the preview. I don't know what the heck is going on with Major and why he was captured, but it has me super excited for the next episode. But Liv finds out that Blaine is back in the business. Major freaked me out in this episode because I forgot that he let that one guy go. And so he gets busted and it's like, this guy, they figure things out and it's like, you said you were taking care of people and you said this guy wasn't a zombie. What the heck is going on? Because three professional killers were sent to kill him, and yet they ended up with 0 heads. So I was really freaked out the whole episode for Major. I was like, I don't know how this is going to play out for him. And because I forgot who the guy was, and he was like, I think he was the second person that Blaine was actually going after. When that happened, I was like, why didn't he just go back for this guy? Because I completely forgot that was the guy with the son. I thought it was someone that they kind of just skipped. And I knew they showed him before because they talked about how he was basically in the episode, but I didn't remember the specifics because he was a minor character. I had no idea. But I thought it was really cool. I was like, I don't know what's going to happen with this. But of course, he kind of works things out. He takes the guy down, but he does mention to him, like, this is what's going on. I'm going to put you in the freezer and stuff. And he does, his normal routine where he puts him in the freezer. He has whatever fake stuff he puts in those body bags and he, dropped it in the water. And the one thing that really freaked me out about that is at the end of the episode, after everything's said and done, Liv is like, oh, she finds out that the guy died because he was a zombie and she was helping him out. And Clive says, like, there's basically nothing else to it. Like, he committed suicide. And so I think he called it dragging the lake or something, but as of now, case closed. As soon as he said they were dragging the lake, that has to mean, I would assume, because they were, giant body bags full of something that were, as heavy as bodies. They're going to find those things because they sunk straight to the bottom. They didn't get carried too far. So if they drag this lake, they're going to find all those, fake bodies. They're going to find, I think, the one real body, like the one person that Blaine actually killed, when he first started. And then they're going to find all these, body bags full of, fake stuff. And there's no way that's not going to be in the news. Like, yeah, this body was found. And then all these suspiciously empty body bags just full of, whatever, were also found in the water as well. So if that does actually happen, which I would assume it will because they're dragging the lake, that's going to be, disastrous. And I really don't know what to expect from that, but it really freaks me out because, he's already captured based on the preview. For whatever reason, I'm assuming it was Stacey Boss that, had the guy go after him for some reason. Who knows? Like, it's really weird. He seems like totally separated from the whole utopian thing outside of, one of the people being Blaine's dad. So I really don't know how he gets wrapped up into it, but, he's already getting captured in the next episode. Then if they do this lake thing and they find all of these, fake bodies, he's going to be screwed, and he's probably going to have to go on the run from the paramilitary guy that they introduced in this episode. So I'm really freaked out about that. He's had way too many close calls, and this might be the last thing because the cops are doing this because they knew the body was in the water. So I don't know. I feel like they're gonna find those body bags, and of course one of the actual zombies. And I just don't know what to expect. I mean, I'm assuming that's gonna happen because that's their plan, and they'll just come across all these body bags. So I'm really freaked out that Major's gonna get busted in one of these future episodes, and it probably wouldn't be for a couple of episodes because it's a lake. We only see like the bridge, but obviously it's a big lake, so who knows where they're actually gonna end up starting. So they could definitely save it for a couple of episodes where they don't find, all these bodies, because they'd all be like like I said, they couldn't have been carried anywhere because they were as heavy as actual bodies when um, Major was, doing the whole fake procedure and everything. So I don't know, but I'm really freaked out that that's going to be coming up in a couple of episodes, and he's going to officially get busted. Crazy show of force by Max Rager. I can never remember that guy's name, the head of Max Rager. I never do. But the crazy Twitter thing where he actually got somebody killed, like the person Major just randomly chose, and he actually got that guy killed, is like, we have people all over the place, and we get stuff done. And if I want something done, I expect it to be done. So that was a very interesting show of force because I figured it would happen, but I kind of forgot about it by the end of the episode because it was really early on. So I'd kind of forgotten about it. Like, oh, the Twitter thing. It was just Twitter. Like he was reading stuff about trolls, and it was just like Major said. It was like, who cares? That happens. It's the internet. It happens all the time. So I completely forgot about that scene. And he's like, why don't we check on that person from Twitter that you picked? And I'm like, he's gonna have some person, I think it was like somebody in India or something crazy like that across the planet. And it's like, oh, crazy accident. He's dead now. And it was just insane. So, of course, crazy show of force for Max Rager. But I liked it. It was very menacing. Another thing that was, I don't know what's going to happen there. And I don't believe they knew this. Or I guess, yeah, they knew this ahead of time. They knew about the stuff with Liv. But when Liv was just on the phone and she's talking, she's like, oh, he's one freaked out zombie and stuff. And she was there. I forgot that she knew when I saw that part. I was like, oh crap, they know now. But I just remember, like, oh yeah, that's how they threatened Major in the first place. But that was still really interesting because Liv had no idea. I totally forgot they even had that as a part of the story where she moved in as like her fake roommate. I was like, oh yeah, I totally forgot that happened. And she was just in there at random. So that was pretty interesting. But we of course have that. We have Liv trying to figure out who she's actually dating, and of course she doesn't find out the truth. We get the criminal record, and naturally it's like, oh, I have a totally legitimate story because I haven't even been busted for all the super illegal stuff I'm currently doing. So I thought that was actually kind of fun. It's like, of course he had a good reason for when he got busted in the past, and then every other illegal thing he's done since then, no record whatsoever because he works for Stacey Boss. So, of course, that's going to be coming out at some point in the next couple of episodes, I'm sure. But it was kind of funny watching just that weird workaround, and then meeting his mom was really funny. I can't remember the guy's name, of course, but his mom was really silly. That joke was funny, and her doing the makeup and giving him like that really weird sweater that looked like it fit for his arms, but it was like the arms were really long enough, but it came up way too much on his stomach. I thought that was so weird. I was like, how did they knit that shirt? That made no sense to me. It was funny, but I like that scene. I thought it was pretty interesting, and living like the crazy over the top makeup and stuff, and his mom just being like, is something going on? Is like an anemic thing, or what's happening with you? I like that as well, but this is a fun episode for sure. It had a lot of crazy moments for Major because I'm like, I don't know how much longer he's really going to get out of these situations, but he's on thin ice, and I think this lake thing is going to come up in a couple of episodes, so I'm really freaked out about that. Um, Blaine now knows they did that early on too, where Peyton kind of brought Liv over and stuff, so he's kind of screwed up in that regard, and it's like, oh crap, like, worlds collide, as he put it, so lots of craziness going on there, and of course I'm assuming Peyton's still going to use him. Of course, she tried to quit in this episode, and with everything that happened, she couldn't. So she's still doing the case, so she's going to have to work with him because he's really the only thing they've got for the whole Stacey Boss case. So I'm very curious how all that stuff's going to turn out because now that Stacey Boss knows exactly where he is, he's going to have to be a lot more careful because he's going to have the people coming to his job, and Stacey seemingly doesn't have any suspicions of him. It's just like, oh, you did good for yourself here, and that's pretty much how it went. So I'm not sure how that's going to play out. I'm sure he'll still help Peyton despite the fact that she might not exactly want to be around him anymore. She does need him, so I'm sure they'll still be working together. But I feel like that's going to have to come up, like now that Stacey knows where he is and what he's doing. It's like, about 2 years ago, because as soon as he saw the board, he was like, your info is a little bit off, is from someone who left my employment about 2 years ago, and he said he never forgets a face, so it's like, he's gonna put that together and have just some random person hang back, and it's like, okay, Blaine is officially the one, and then we'll see where it goes from there, because we still have the whole zombie reverting thing for both Blaine and Major. So they haven't really talked about it. They haven't mentioned it, or they mentioned it to. I think they mentioned it to both of them, so I think they do both know. But I feel like that might come up just at the perfect time when Blaine or Major might really need to defend themselves and kind of take somebody out. But I'm looking forward to this next one for sure. I really don't know what to expect. Obviously, Blaine and Major don't have the best relationship ever, so I'm not 100% sure what to really expect from that. Once again, I'm still super confused based on the promo, why Major was the one in the body bag, like why he was targeted, and suddenly unzipped and poof, he's in the cemetery, or the in the thing. I can't even think of what the heck it's called, but he's at Blaine's place. So I'm really looking forward to that. I think this was definitely a really fun episode. It had me super scared. Everything with Major has me so scared because everyone else is kind of like, oh, they're gonna do this or do that. We had the thing with Blaine, and now he's kind of free, so he's fine at this point. Now we have the Stacey Boss stuff, so there's a little bit more concern, but I'm not too freaked out about it. But now it's just Major, and he's just like trapped, like constantly. It's like this happens, or the dog thing. One of his guys, they find his boss finds out that he was a zombie and he let him go. And then this lake thing, I really think is going to be important because it's a little hard to drag a lake and miss. Like, I think he had to have done. I think there are only like 5 or 6 people in the freezer, but that's quite a bit, And of course, when they're all kind of stacked on top of each other, basically, it's gonna bring some attention. So I'm really freaked out about what's gonna happen with Major. He's already gonna get beat up. He's the character that gets beat up. He hasn't been too beat up in this season. That was kind of last season. He always got beat up, and this season I'm just freaked out. He's gonna get just straight up murdered. So I'm really freaked out. Wondering what's gonna happen with him. Peyton is gonna be having her own place fairly soon as well. That was a big thing they did with Peyton and Robbie. Not really rekindling their relationship, but they say some stuff, especially Peyton when she's like, "Oh, if I got turned into a zombie, I'd turn you because I couldn't deal with it, without you." So they obviously kind of reintroduced that idea fully because they never really got the chance anyway. Because once Peyton found out, she was gone, and that was after like a date or two with Robbie. So hopefully that does happen. I actually like them together because they are like I mean, there's obviously a lot of comedy in the show, so I guess it's not fair to say they're the funny ones, but Ravi is like the number one comedic person, and I think he and Peyton actually work really well off each other. Like the actors, just naturally I think do, but the characters, also just I think they're well written. So I kind of hope to see that kind of fully fledged before the season finale. I think that'll be pretty nice, a nice little change. It might not happen until the next season because I don't know how many episodes we have, but looking forward to that. That's like a weird thing because normally I don't give a crap about relationship stuff, and I think I like their relationship more than I even cared about like Liv and Majors because it was like the back and forth thing, which might actually come up again next season once they do revert back to zombies and they can be together again, from Liv's point of view. So that'll come up and it'll be interesting, I guess. But I definitely like Peyton and Robbie because they just have interesting scenes, and it's especially now because it's this weird in between where they did used to date and it was really good, and then all the zombie stuff happened, and that was the only reason that they split up, and it was just like really weird. So that's why they just remained friends. But I kind of like that idea. I just enjoy it. So I'm oddly looking forward to that. But this whole episode I really thought was a good one. Definitely want to know what you guys thought about it. So please comment below. Let me know your favorite parts, your least favorite parts. And I want to know what you guys think is going to happen with Blaine. Like, as far as expectations with the Max Rager thing, if you did see the promo, or if you didn't, I've explained it at this point. Speculations for sure why Blaine was captured, or why Major was captured and sent to Blaine. Because, like I said, I felt he was so separated from all the stuff with Blaine because of the fact that they have such a bad history. That's why they haven't been in the same storylines, because it has to be a really dramatic moment, because I would assume Blaine still wants to kill Major, and I know Major wants to still kill Blaine. So they're going to be in an episode together after all this time, and Major's the one in the bad position. It's not exactly even. So I'm really looking forward to it. Like I said, um, I can't even think of a reason why, because he's not involved. Unless, well, they do find the Utopium, so that has to be the reason, I guess. Maybe Ravi and Major get captured while they're out in the field or something like that, and that's um, how Major ends up getting sent to Blaine. But there would still have to be people out in that field, and they've been searching for months now, so it would be really random if that were the case. But obviously, something big happens. But I want to know your expectations and speculations for what's going to happen with Major and this whole Max Ranger thing, and just why in the world he's going to end up with Blaine in a body bag sent to Blaine's place. So definitely know your speculations and expectations. So please comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.